Hey everybody, my head is big. It is Thursday. We are doing a Q&A of Syndicate 4. Let me fix this camera angle real quick because I did not realize just how big my head was going to be in this video. So here we are. I'm Joker with Players Wanted, and we're going to talk about Players Wanted Airsoft's newest event that's going to be coming up in Warwick, New York, Syndicate 4 at Big Orange Correctional. Give me 1 second here. Program for resizing. It's taking a hot minute to get fixed up here. Let's go up. Let's just zoom out a little bit. How about that? There we go. There. Okay. So tonight is pretty much a straight Q&A about all the rules and the newest mode. And if you guys were paying attention to the site, a new ticket that just dropped for the Resurgence game for Syndicate 4. Bayo will be joining me on a little bit later on, so let's get to it and start talking. Let me go ahead and open a map here. Add source, local, not video. I'll just share the screen. Give me 1 second here. So while we get going, there's a couple of questions here. One is, while camping, do replicas need to be in gun cases or bags or just during arrival to the AO? As it stands right now, everything that we got from the site is that be responsible. Like if you're going from your hotel to the AO, don't have your gun out, have it in a gun case, be smart people. This is New York we're talking about here. And while Warwick is really welcoming of us and wants us to be out there, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how. I mean, we've been to places in states where open carry is allowed, and we had problems with hotels being like, "What are you doing with these guns?" Even though they're fake. So like when your guys are camping and everything else, don't do teching out in the open. Try to keep it inside of a tent, concealed, something like that, so that way people are there. I'm here trying to figure out what I got myself into. All right, Facebook user. So if you're new here, I don't know which, just tell me what channel that you're watching this on, like what Facebook group you're watching on, so I can answer, see who I'm talking to and answer your questions. All right. So when somebody mentioned, can you show us on the AO map or camping? We're camping versus where we'd be parking. So camping and parking are going to be in the same area. So it's going to be down here. I mean, when you guys see this map, it's kind of hard to see exactly the scale of the size, but this area down here in the parking area, it is kind of massive. You guys will be able to camp along this line, all along the lines inside here, and camping up. Our vendors are going to be up in this area because if you guys have been paying attention, hey, look, that map looks different now because we've added in this area right here around registration, chrono, another way for you guys to go and move around so you guys could flank through and get to S a little bit easier, and all that. So there's going to be definitely some places for you guys to move to and go through. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. The battle bus is going to be somewhere in this area to provide cover. There might be a couple other vehicles put in the way as well, so you guys can maneuver around them. So if you all ever have any questions, why does that say that for the Tiki Talks? That's not what it was supposed to be. Oh, can't edit it now, so I guess it's going to say Modern Warfare, even though it's not that. All right. So there we go. Oh, it's Steve Ash. He's on Facebook Live. Well, Steve Ash, you're one of the XOs now, so you're in for something, that's for sure. So yeah, let me just do it this way so you guys can see the map. All right. So right now we're still working on spawn positions. We'll have a better update for spawn positions when it comes down to on on February 11th through the 13th. We're going back up to do a photo shoot and video shoot for some trailers and all that for this. So we're going to map out and look at some locations for the spawns somewhere. We're pretty sure that they're probably going to be over here near 4 and maybe somewhere over here in the football field for you guys to have access to go. So If you notice now, there's now a greenish line right here. I just didn't want to have to redo the entire map. But there is some fencing along this line that you guys have to maneuver around. So this area now is all opening up and in play. All right. So people have been asking questions uh, about the camos. All right. Uh, no, I think. Well, I guess it's going to depend on whether or not um, Justin gets done with uh, people talking to people that he's had an interest with in his line of work. If you catch my drift, um, he's on a call right now. So when he gets done, he gets here. Hopefully, we can get on and answer some questions and all that. But right now, I'm the one you guys got. So, all right, let's see here. Talk a little bit about camo side colors. There, if you guys are in Discord, feel free to or join the Discord. Let me add the link. You guys could join it there. We actually set up channels for you guys can honestly ask the question about what stuff what you guys can and can't wear out there. So under right here it says uniform approval. This is a great example. Somebody asked about these. When it comes down to what you are or are not allowed to wear, you can't wear gray, black, and stuff like that. Oh, it didn't post. What the hell? Uh, tell me you could see it there. That'd be great. If you get that link there, William, one eye. Uh, right here, here's the green. This color is unacceptable. These other two colors are acceptable. Um, this came up from a discussion inside of the Syndicate chat. We decided to add it. Uh, go through and talk a little bit about the different camel types. So, for example, when it comes down to these four shirts, everything except this black and green one, it's a little bit too black. Um, and it throws off because remember we are going to have multicam black as our operators, so this too close there, but the other colors are okay, even though this light blue one here is probably going to have a little bit of problems, but um, these two are okay. But really what it comes down to is this is a great example. Let's open up in browser and pull it over here so I can zoom in on it. I want to open this up for a minute because I want to give a understanding of why you guys like this shirt and this shirt in particular. Don't wear those. You're going to be told to take them off. You're going to be told to wear something else. Um, and even this shirt right here. These three shirts will probably get you tackled out on the field. Thinking that maybe it's a Nikolai going around doing Nikolai things. So don't wear those. The reds, the pinks, the one that has multicolors, the orange, the yellow, all of them are no goes. Reason being is like red and yellow obviously look more like admin colors and everything else. And the Franken shirts, like I'm not wearing one today, but if you had a Franken shirt on, um, it has too much red inside there. It looks like a dead rag. Looks like maybe it's an admin shirt, whatever. That's why you don't want to wear those. Um, Pretty much, if you guys have any questions about any of the camos that you are not supposed to, somebody's home. Whether or not what you're allowed to wear or not allowed to wear. Hold on. Hey! Um, what mic is being used right now? Let's see here. I just realized that. Okay, it is this mic. Hmm. All right. All right, let's see here. If I could just get some thumbs up or Fs to make sure that. Oh, let's see here. All right, it looks like the sound's coming through because I can see it up on TikTok. What are the rules on drones? Drones are never to be shot at. Um, Drones can be used to gain intel and everything else, so you're allowed to use them. Drones cannot be flown in buildings. The drones can be flown up high. So drones are completely and 100% acceptable. Great question on that. Smurf, let me send you the link and you can repost it, please. There you go. All right. Um, and in fact, on this location, because of all the foliage that's going to be around, I think drones are going to be very instrumental if you can use them. Um, so yeah, just I wouldn't put them outside the wire. One of the things what part of can you shoot at the drones do you not understand, dickhead? Come on, man. Don't even put that out there. You know better. All right. The link should be coming. So if you guys do see it, there you go. All right. So keep those questions coming as we go through. We're going to talk about some things. Let me pull up in the. Let me get open the rule set here real quick so we can actually talk about those in detail. Oh, it's in Discord for sure. All right. Here comes the fun part. Share screen. All right. It's actually illegal to do anything to a drone in the air either. So you can't really shoot at it. You can't aim lasers at it. That's, I guess, a new FAA rant. Hit it with a leaf blower or whatever. All that stuff's illegal. All right, so let's talk about the rules here real quick. If you guys have been to one of our events before, you know a lot of these basic rules, or at least you should. All players must sign a waiver. So before you do anything on the property, as soon as you come in a park, you walk into you walk into registration. And if you're wondering where registration is, it's just our building. So you guys are going to park here, walk on up, go in here. Our vendor row is going to be along this line right here, and our food truck's going to be stationed right out here as well. All right. You guys are going to walk in, fill out a waiver for the site and a waiver for us. You're going to get your wristbands. You're going to go to a safety brief, which is going to be downstairs inside of the it's going to be downstairs inside the registration building. And then if you have your pew pews, you're going to take them all the way over to Chrono. As it stands right now, you have to bring them in a case or in a bag. However, I am working with the site to see if we actually need to do that. If it's something that has to happen. There, you have the link now for sure, because I sent it to you. All right. So you're going to do your safety brief, take your guns over, get chronoed. Once your guns are chronoed, you'll get your event patch. So you're going to check in with registration. You'll get your wristband. You'll get your skirmish band. You'll then go to registration. From registration, you'll go down to safety brief. At safety brief, when you go through, you will get your syndicate patch. From there, you go to chrono, get your guns chronoed. Once guns chronoed, you then can go through and explore. Now, we're updating the timetable for Friday because some things have changed for the better. One of those things being, thank you, that we're adding in a new game mode. Um, all right, this is going to be these tickets just dropped. We're calling it the Resurgence tickets, and I'll put them up here. So it's the Resurgence game for Friday. It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right. Hey, what's up, Drust? How you doing? And we're going to get to all that details about the Resurgence game. I just wanted to talk about the time frame. So the gates are going to open at 1 o'clock for you guys to come in and start doing registration. Chrono's going to open at 2. The people that are going to go to the front of the line, yes, Chrono's where it says C on the map because it's far away and it's shooting out into the AO. The people that are going to go to the front of the line is anybody that has a Resurgence ticket, sort of like if you guys have been to our events before, we had JTF missions. JTF is always beforehand. If you're doing Resurgence, you have to be there by 4:30. 4:30 is the cutoff for the 4:30 Resurgence brief. And the reason why we're doing that is if any of you all have played Warzone Resurgence quads, that's essentially what's going to be happening here. So you have to go through, learn the game mode, go over look at the props, look at what a loot crate looks like, all these sort of things. So a lot of these rules are very similar. What's up, Mr. Tom? Like our lower face protection is mandatory for people under the age of 18. It's highly recommended for anybody else. What's up, Brainerd? How you doing? No real steel. So tagged products. This is going to up a little bit. It's going to say tag in launchable products are not permitted because we don't allow launchables to be used as anti-personnel devices, and we have no vehicles for this event that you guys can shoot at. So that's not going to happen. But tagging grenades are back. All right. Coal burning smoke grenades are permitted outdoors. Smoke grenades are not permitted indoors. That's an obvious one. When it comes to indoor grenades, the only thing that's going to work indoors are either the stuff like Thunder V's, the Bang 22s, the ones that have the that has, like, I guess the green gas and the cap that explodes off of it. Those are acceptable, but nothing that is none of the pyro, no Taggin or EG products are going to be allowed to use indoors, especially in buildings S and M. And I'm saying in that order just because I think it's funny. Still no riot shields. Some of the big changes when you guys go over these rules are going to be that we made some changes to open up a few options for you all. We're giving you guys tornadoes will work. Yeah. We're giving you guys a few options. We're going to allow full auto in burst only mode, like burst mode. The ASG gas grenades, yes, as long as it's gas, it's not pyro. As long as it's not going to leave a scorch mark on the ground, that's the main thing that we're concerned about with the facility. We don't want to leave a bunch of marks all over the place for you guys to come back in and be like, and for them to come back and be like, you got to mop this up. You got to clear it up. Because I don't want to spend out there. Because some people like Steve Tom will go through like $500 worth of pyro in a weekend. And then here's me going out there having to scrub the stuff off. When it comes to EG67s, they're not allowed on the site, period. This is a site thing because they saw the ban. So if the ban is lifted by the time the event goes off, they'll be allowed. If they're not lifted, EGs are not allowed, but the new tagging grenades will be allowed. All right. My battery's running low. That's not good. Why is my battery running low on my laptop? The sun's getting kind of low, big fella. 1 second, guys. No, we're plugged in, so I guess we're charging now. All right. All right. So again, if you have questions, ask them. I'll break up what I'm doing and go from there. The basement of M is out of play for at this point in time. So the looking back at the map again, there's M. It's the mess hall. The basement's out of play. The site host is the site owner is really an awesome woman, and she's going to try working with the person that's renting out that portion to see if we can use it to go outside the backside of M here to go towards S. Okay. We'll see what's going to happen, but as it stands right now, bottom side of M. Now, remember, when it comes down to these rules, folks, it's great to read them, but the safety brief, some rules change. What's the difference between Tag-ins and EG67s? Boom, boom. Joseph Patrick Kelly, that's a great thing. Are there any night games? So we just dropped tickets for a Friday night special event from 5 to 7 p.m. One of the problems that we have is I can see what time. 2024. Okay, so the sun looks like it's going to be setting at like 7:50, so it's going to be dusky, but it's not going to be dark. For this event, we did not get until 10 or 11 o'clock on site, so there's not going to be any traditional night games there. To answer that question, um, the difference between Tag-ins and EG67s is honestly noise, explosive, and explosive amount in how they operate. Like the Tag-ins will typically fragment to like a bunch of small, tiny pieces, and they're going to be a hell of a lot louder. EG67s obviously has the two shells that come out and makes a boom, and they spit peas everywhere. Except Tag-in has just got an approval for two of their brands of grenades to be back. Hello, Nick. How are you? All right. Um, let's see here. Yeah, you guys can't access the roofs. I haven't found a way to get to the roof yet, but if you did, please show us. Like I always say, don't get up on the roofs. Roofs are not a play. Tunnel access is also not in play for this game. These have to be fully mapped out. I have to go through, search them, see how they're doing, and some of them are extremely narrow. Doing great, doing great, doing this Q&A here. Ladders are not in play like always. Let's see here. For some of you that haven't been to some of our games before, if you have a GoPro action cam, you must cover up the red light that's facing outward. So if your GoPro's mounted up here, both red lights have to be off, or that's because we consider that a dead light. So if we catch you with it, you're gonna be sent back to respawn. Almost every single camera out there has the ability to shut that setting off, shut it off. You don't need it. Hold on one second. Well, if the battery dies, the battery dies. I don't know what to tell you. All right, there we go. Okay. The KSG 12 is allowed as long as it shoots 3 shots. So when it comes to shotguns, they have to shoot 3 shots. They cannot shoot more than 3. You cannot use them with fully automatic. Anybody caught doing this, I can tell you right now, like we said at the last couple of events, there's a rule that's been put into place now. Any weapon that is chronoed and goes onto the field and is then shooting illegally, we reserve the right to not only kick you out of the event, but ban you from the event. So this is the warning we're giving everybody. Yeah, Tag-ins are much more expensive than EG67s, but I find them to be a little bit more durable. The fact that you can pull the pin, hold the spoon, pop the spoon when you want to, and then throw is a little bit more reliable than, say, the EG67s. When you pull, you got to throw. Yes, there will be Nikolai missions. Per normal, there will be Nikolai missions. For each one, there are at least 2 missions are going to be planned. There might be more. So one first Evo, one second Evo. Let's see here. All right, I want to point out something that's of huge importance. There's this white poofy structure that you guys see back here. Do not shoot this. This is their outdoor field. That's their covered outdoor field. You guys puncture that, somebody's in trouble. This is like the chapel at Crescent. Do not shoot at this. Do not even point your guns at it. It's down a slope, so you guys shouldn't be able to do it. Nothing like that whatsoever. If you guys put glitter or confetti inside of it, you know who you are, and you know you're wrong. Um, the IWA M13 M11. Let me look those up real quick. Oh, you're talking about the pyro. As it stands right now, they should be okay. I'm actually talking to IWA right now about possible sponsorship for the night game portions. But if it's the ones I'm thinking those ones are, that they I think one is smoke, right? No, that's the one that's the explode. That's the one that's there. Yeah, you want to talk about flexing your stuff, flexing your budget there. You're talking about throwing a $40 grenade every single time. Um, all right, let's see here. Going back to the rule set. All right, let's go over the camouflage here real quick because this is another big change that we decided to let you guys have. So the cost-effective way to have nades is to use thunders. Yes, but what I recommend with Thunder V's is to engrave your name onto the actual core. So that's what I would highly recommend you do. Um, so let's talk about the camouflages real quick. All right, DEA is any tan-based camo. Okay, it can be solid tan shirt, solid tan pants. It can be a solid tan T-shirt if you really want to. I mean, um, let's see what's the projected weather. Probably, if that's correct, like 24 degrees. 47 to 57 degrees. So, I mean, you guys can wear t-shirts if you want to, solid tan t-shirts and everything. The scales compared to Crescent. Now, this is the interesting thing about it. Both of them are about the same size acreage wise, but this one feels bigger because of the foliage that's around. It's all flat and it's all even. The only problem that we have, um, shotguns with mag adapters are not allowed. Sorry. Um, is going to be this big red square right here. These are the two soccer fields in the middle that's astroturf. BBs won't sink into the astroturf. So there's going to be, you don't go inside the fence on this area. You don't shoot from one side to the other. We catch you doing that, you're going home. End of story. So the two areas that are like our chapel is this area right here and this area right here. All right. Let's see. All right. So tan cannot wear black tops. Period. Full stop. I understand that some other event hosts might do it. We don't do that here. We have a faction that wears black camo for a reason. We don't want the confusions because you guys have problems there. Um, all right. The other thing that let's see here, green. You see that little rule that says no multicam tropic? We're allowing you guys the opportunity to run multicam tropic. If it becomes an identification issue with multicam tropic for this event, multicam tropic will be banned again. Hey, what's up, Starseed? So as it stands right now, if you're on the green team, you can wear multicam tropic. Now, if you're the dick in multicam tropic, thinking that you're going to be able to walk through and act like you are there and misidentify yourself as tan so you can get into a really good position or anything else, we catch you, bye. Yeah, don't do that. We're trying not to have the problems and everything else. For all the rest of you guys, identify. All right. Colors that are not allowed to be worn as civilian tops are red, uh, yellow, high vis green, um, or blue Hawaiian shirts. Essentially, is the breakdown. You guys don't want to be wearing any of that for various reasons. All right. Another big change that we made is that SMGs will allow to be able to go full auto indoors with a burst only. Now, if your gun doesn't have 3 round burst, it means burt, 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 not burt, and not burt, 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 burt. It means a burst mode. Okay. If this gets abused, we're going to pull it. The end of story. That there'll be no full auto allowed. This is going to be watched extensively by the staff as they're going around. And if reports come in that there's a problem because people are being overshot, they're being full autoed inside the buildings and all that, well, we will announce who you are, and everybody can boo you for it later. Okay. Um, this is one of the biggest things that we've changed on. Flannel shirts are allowed on green. They just can't be green, or they can't be gray, or like, here's a great example. If you're not inside the Discord, you want to be in the Discord, you want to click on this little thing right here, Syndicate Uniform Approval. See how gray that is? The gray and black, that's not allowed. Okay. You can't have gray and tan, or tan and black, or tan anyways. No, SMGs are not allowed to have drum mags. We are already anticipating, and we'll probably already have massive problems with the full auto aspect of the SMGs as is. Adding a drum mag to the mix is not good. All right. These are all great questions. Keep them coming. None of these are stupid, and none of these are going to be like, except for the one where you throw rocks at it. That was a stupid question, Crackles. When you see here where it says like secondaries, like you must have a secondary. All right. What they mean by that, a mandatory sign on backup weapon. You can carry 2 primaries. You can carry an LMG with an M4, or an LMG with an SMG. You can carry an LMG with a sniper if you really want to, or DMR, but you're going to be restricted by ROF, or not ROF, MED. You're going to be restricted by MED. All right. So when you enter a building, you must go to a secondary. Now, as long as you're breaking the plane, you can shoot out at full auto until somebody gets within 50 feet. And then and you could shoot in until you get within 50 feet of that area. Lasers are allowed, but you cannot, if people start shining them in people's eyes again, they're not going to be allowed anymore. There's probably going to be some laser designators out there anyway, because some of the game modes that we're going to be coming up with. All right. So yeah, we catch you shooting. If we catch you aiming lasers at people's eyes, you're probably going to be asked to go home. I mean, the thing about all this is we make a hard stance on this because we typically don't have to be this totalitarian out on the field. When we make the statements in above hand, some players say, you know what, I'm just not going to run it because I don't want to be that guy and get in trouble. Other times people are just like, you know what, respect heard. We're not going to mess this up. So you can use a laser if you want to, but laser designation is something that's going to be a thing. All right. No master mics or 40 mics are allowed. We are allowing the shower shells for outdoor use only. If this gets abused again, like the guy that had a rotary 6-shot launcher and decided to launch at one guy all 6 barrels, or all 6 tubes, and didn't even give a chance for a guy to put his hand up, this will be the last time that shower shells will be allowed. So if you guys if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, is if it becomes a problem for the staff, the police, that causes a problem for the players, we're going to remove it so we don't have the problems. We don't want to remove anything. We want to let you guys do stuff. Yes, let's talk about some of those objectives, and let's talk about some of that stuff here in a second. All right. Doobie doop. Watch your butt. All right. Some of you are probably asking, hey, what was that skirmish thing that we saw when we went to buy our tickets? That skirmish band required and skirmish band included. This is a skirmish band. All right. This is a skirmish box. You're going to be taking objectives by using your skirmish band, walking up and tapping it against the logo right here. So you walk up and like, hey, how you doing on your wrist, on your gun, on your kit. And that's going to start tracking it. The cool thing about it is once you have one of these, you're going to want to go to skirmesh.com. And you're going to create a player profile. You're going to add this code into the back side of it because that's going to be that'll attach to your player account. So every single time that you do something, we'll be able to track the points of what you did. The cool thing about that is that if you're somebody like Jaws, who scored 68 points in a single Evo at, I think it was Scorched Earth 2, you get accolades for being the MVP of the weekend. There you go, skirmesh.com. In case it didn't come through, Smurfs got me covered here. This thing's going to be, there's going to be multiple aspects that you're doing. When you go to be taken prisoner, you're going to go up and you're going to scan your wristband so they can score points. So it's all stuff like that that's going to be added in. Okay. LMGs can use box mags though. So in case you guys are wondering, yeah, you guys definitely can use your box mags for LMGs. And we're not capping you for how many mags that you're out there. Just remember you're carrying around a big old battle maraca. Brainerd's like 7.5 minutes behind. If you have a melee weapon, those need to be pre-approved by the staff. So you have to bring it up and let us take a look at it. Most of the cold forged ones are okay. A lot of the stuff that AMP sells, those melee weapons are okay. But if you're bringing something homemade, we got to take a look at it. Like I have my Twisted Tea can. The Twisted Tea can is borderline because even though it's soft, it's still got a tin metal around it and all that. So we're going to take a look at it. No adult toys as melee weapons, guys. Sorry. This place is in fact, this was one of the things that was brought up. I'll give this site host a huge amount of credit. At the same time, it's frustrating. They did a lot of research. They saw Dick's caliber and they didn't like it. And I said, I can promise you that it will not be allowed this time around. So if your kit has a double-ended purple dildo that's mollied into it, that needs to come out. Sorry, we can't have that on the field. Okay. Just don't. All right, let's see. Most of this other stuff is there. Vehicle rules. Don't shoot the vehicles, period. They're not in play. For the people that are driving the vehicles, they're going to be running about 10 miles per hour. Okay. If a vehicle is moving, don't use it as cover. No, Alexander. The problem that comes up with it is that once you cross into the plane, you're an MED distance, and almost every single one of these buildings we have a problem with the stuff that's down there. So you have to use a secondary when you cross into the building. Okay, you could fire at somebody that's down the hall, but you can't be posted up on the door shooting down. So you have to bring out a secondary weapon, either a sidearm or anything else. If you want to be Superman and carry some stuff around. Now, we are putting a limit that you cannot carry more than 2 primary weapons on you for this. We had a guy have an issue because he was literally carrying 4 guns on him. He put one down. Somebody took it and brought it back to the front, or brought it to the truck. Say, hey, somebody left this behind. And we're like, oh, I know whose that is. Let's leave it right here in the truck. What do you think the best weapons bring for this AO? Honestly, this AO gives something for everybody. You have foliage that is 10, 12 feet tall. That's all over. They have a couple of dirt mounds that are 15, 20 feet tall. that you guys can get up on top of. So you guys can climb the dirt mounds and get inside that stuff. So you can use that. Um, we're gonna find out more when we get up there on the 11th of February, whether or not we're gonna allow you guys to shoot out of windows. Right now, you can't shoot out of windows. I just got to check the other buildings. So these buildings all down here, there is one window that you could shoot out of that would work because there's a platform there. We're just trying to find a way for you guys to be able to use it. DMR work would work really well. I mean, this is the one where you guys would be going in and out, going through some foliage. It really is a nice AO. All right. But I'm loving the questions. Keep them coming because this really helps go through a lot of this. Um, there's going to be a lot of different props out on the field. There's going to be fake illegal substances, like white flour in baggies to be exact, some blue colored rock candy to be other. There's going to be vials of multicolored liquid. They're going to be all over the place. All right. You bring those back to your spawns. As it stands right now, we're not using any intel, paper intel. Reason being, we've been having a problem with that stuff being picked up and it leaves trash all over the place. And we don't want to have to do a huge amount of cleanup. So there's going to be laptops, there's going to be hard drives, there's going to be old cell phones, old tablets. If you guys been to any of our events before, we have a lot of this stuff there. The prison capture system, I'm going to get into that because that's a very interesting one that's down a little bit further before we jump into the new game mode that we're pulling out here. If you're carrying any objectives, you must drop them in place. Now, if you're taken prisoner, you can still carry them. In fact, if you're not searched effectively, when you get dropped off as you're taken prisoner, I'll get that in a second. Essentially, it costs the other team points. But so anytime that somebody runs up to you and they go, do you have any kill cards or intel? Intel is our catch-all for giving up any objectives you might be carrying on you. So any of the money, the illicit materials, the vials, the electronics, or anything else like that, you have to turn it over. You just can't hold it and say, "Oh, you didn't tell me to." I kind of D-hopping and MP fighting Skirty or DMR. That's a really good, really good point. So if you die and you bleed out, you must leave everything that you collected right where you bled out. You can't hide it. You can't stash it. It's right where it goes. Okay. The only exception is, like I said, we'll talk about prisoners in a little bit. Let's see here. If something is anchored in place, don't remove it. Like if there's a chain or a line or something on that, don't. Okay. Let's see here. Hit rules are pretty simple. If you're anywhere instead of anywhere but your gun, you're hit. You hit in the pack. You get hit in, a little thing out hanging, like a little piece of thing hanging off the side of your kit. You're hit. Just take the hit, put your hand up, take your dead rag out, put your dead light on, say hit, and take a knee. Now, if somebody has a dead rag out, thank you, Peanut. Peanut T. Milsim. If somebody's standing there with their dead rag on, don't continuously shoot them and say, "I'm going to keep shooting you to your knee." If their dead rag's on and their dead light's on and they're standing there, don't shoot them. They're considered a hit. Okay. That given said, if you're in a line of fire, you do have the 5-foot rule. You can get up, you can move 5 feet out of the way, but you cannot be medic until you go back to your original position. Like if you're in one of the hallways and you have to walk back 15 feet to get into another room, to get out of the line of fire, you can do that, but you have to go back to your original position before you can be medic again. Okay. You can be medic twice. Third time, you have to take the walk. Okay. No, Grackles, man, you know this. Don't move furniture. All that stuff stays where it's supposed to be. Anything that's where it is, consider it rooted in place. Same thing with doors. Don't shut doors. Don't open doors. Well, you could open doors if it opens and it goes through. I've tested a couple times, but if a door is open, don't shut it for tactical advantage. All right. Right now, number 9 about the water bottles, we are thinking about if we're going to be using that or not. We're probably going to know that at the end of the first Evo from all the stuff for you guys running around. Um, every player has a 5-minute bleed out. You have a 5-minute bleed out window. And no, you can't wait around 10 minutes because you see this big push coming. Now, if you're at your 5-minute bleed out time and your buddies are running up to you and if 5 minutes has expired, you can wait an extra 30 seconds or so before getting up and walking back to respawn. All right. Um, if your weapon gets hit 100 times, like weapon hits don't count, but if it continues to get shot and you're like in a doorway or something like that, you keep saying gun hit, gun hit, gun hit, you know, honor, integrity, and respect to the 3 tenets of our sport. That integrity and honor thing, your gun, if in real life scenario, would have been toast. You should probably just call the hit and say, I'm hit and whatever. All right. We have a typical drag rule. The drag rule is that you touch somebody, say, and you can put your hand on them and they can move under their own free will. You're not to physically drag them. The only person that exception to is the Nikolai rules, which we'll get to those in detail. Let's see here. Friendly fire counts, even grenades, even if it's your own grenade. Okay. Um, an incident at Syndicate at Scorched Earth that somebody got a war crime for, where they shot their buddy, and they're like, "Oh, we're just joking around." Don't do that. The only thing the admins see is what is out in front of them. So if they see you shoot your buddy, they might not know that you're joking or playing around. Like sometimes I shoot Steve Tom in the ass because it's hilarious to me. Just be aware that team kills do count. Grenade radiuses are 15-foot radius. So 15 feet in front of me, 15 feet behind me. If the grenade goes off at my feet, everybody's dead in that radius. Just like in a 30 by 30 room, everybody would be dead. Okay. Um, so if I throw a grenade and it blows up and one of my guys gets hit, they're dead. Not, oh, don't worry, it was my grenade. That's not how this works. All right. Uh, so one of the things that we like to do here is what we call the hand of God. The admins, if we see it happen, like if we see you go up and do an epic move and you die gloriously in battle, like if you decide to do this entire run push, and I'll give it the best thing possible. Fat Ninja did this at Thunderdome 2, I believe. Thunderdome 1 was Thunderdome 1 because my ankle screwed up. There was a, you know what? I could just pull the video and show you. Let me just find this real quick. This will be a good example. Like if this was my game, I would have went up and like, you know what? Hand of God, Fat Ninja, you're up. Um, I believe it is this one.
Make it across the hallway and see if we can over
That ain't that one. All right, so it's not that one. Oh. There we go. If you did something like that and we saw it, one of our admins might have been like, hand of God, you're back up and going. Screaming for medic is encouraged. Acting it out is really encouraged. All that stuff there. Now, when you're dead, stop it. There we go. There we go. Dead man don't talk. You can scream for medic. You can't say, you can, if you get shot, you can say, good hit, not good hit to that dude over there hiding behind a bush right in front of the door. You can just yell out in general, good hit. All right. You don't have to call for a medic if you're dying. You could do it very much, keep your mouth shut until you think it's okay to be medicked. You don't have to call for medic, but when you do, you only say medic. You can't say, come get me. It's safe. Don't worry about it. He's dead. You only say medic. I mean, you could definitely do the emphasis of medic, medic, but you can't be like, medic me. It's cool. All right. So let's talk about the prisoner rules. Somebody had a question about that earlier. Let's talk about this here. When players are in their bleed out, players can be taken prisoner. So effectively, when a player gets shot, they get hit. I'm hit. They go down on one knee, and their bleed out time effectively starts. If I run up and go to take you prisoner because you've been hit, I place your hand on you and say, I am taking you prisoner. And I count down 15 seconds to medic you up. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 seconds. Okay. At that point in time, I can say, do you have any intel or kill cards? If you have any of them, you hand them over right then and there, right? At that point in time, you're now their prisoner. One player can capture 3 prisoners at a time. Those prisoners are to stay with the player as if they've been shackled to the player. And there, you can't walk slow. If they're moving, you try to keep pace with them. Look, I know some of you young bucks can run full speed. I can't. I'm going to do my best to stay with you. Also, you shouldn't be running all the way back to CP. You should be going at a nice pace, because when a prisoner is captured, how many lives they have left is how many lives they have to get them back to their CP. So if it's the first time a player's got hit, they could be medic the second time. They can get hit a second time, go down. You can say, I am medicing you. You're still my prisoner. You're up 15 seconds. And you go. The third time, they're down and they bleed out. Now, um, what happens if I'm already on my bleed out phase because this is my third hit? You could always be captured at least once. All right. Now, remember an earlier rule: team kills count. So if you see a cartel member taking 3 of your buddies, the tan dudes, back to CP, you can't shoot the green dude. You don't have a good line. Shoot your buddies, because if they go down, they're not going to be taken. They're not going to be able to be easily taken prisoner, right? That's like the only time it's really encouraged for team kills. Um, so when you're taken prisoner, um, if the player is under fire and runs to the side, imagine he's dragging you with. Try to move with them as much as they can. If they tell you to get down, that sort of stuff, right? That's play it right, because you want them to do the same thing for you. You don't want shenanigans to be called. Um, Using prisoner shield is counterintuitive, to be honest with you. They really are, um, especially when it's Nikolai. Um, so your goal is to take them back to your CP. When you get them back to your CP, they're going to have their wristbands being scanned, showing that they've been captured. Once that happens, it scores points for your side. In addition to that, if they have anything on them, like intel or like any sort of the objectives or anything else, they then have to turn to the admin that's there to turn in, say, I was never asked for any sort of objectives. Nobody asked me. Nobody searched me for my stuff. If that happens, that loses points. But you're always, always to hand over everything that you have when you're asked, do you have any intel? You don't hand one piece, you hand over everything that you have. Now, when it comes to kill cards, you're going to be issued one at the start of the game. This one, you're going to put your call sign on it, so some way to go through. That's the one you hand out to other players. Now, if you collect kill cards, you never have to give up the ones you collected. Those are yours to keep. Those are considered, once you get them from another player, those are considered out of play. All right. Now at CP, when you're at the enemy CP, they're going to hold you for about 3 minutes. You're going to get told to drink some water, get hydrated, send you back on your way. Now, some of them might say, "Hey, we're going to play a little. We're going to have some fun with you real quick." In no 3 minute time, they might execute you or whatever. They might do some stuff like I've seen executions happen at the event. I've seen people, I come rolling up and all of a sudden 3 guys get shot in the back, and it's like, that's a Geneva Convention violation. But yeah, so we expected from the cartel, but it was the DE that was doing it. All right, so for the whole, you're not to physically restrain any player prisoner. Let's talk about Nikolai. Hi, I'm Nikolai. I'll be talking in a very bad accent. Um, I'll be wearing a blue Hawaiian shirt. I'll be surrounded by my protective detail. The objective is to capture Nikolai and get him back to your CP. He's worth a huge amount of points. Um, and Nikolai, well, also player prisoners, as soon as they're taken prisoners, are considered disarmed, right? They're automatically considered disarmed. You don't have to disarm them. They keep to keep their stuff. Nikolai is the exception. Nikolai must be physically searched and have all weapons removed from him. Now, where Nikolai is going to be at, there's going to be a cubby that you can put his weapons into. Um, those are there to stay. Those are his weapons. Don't touch his. If you come across a stash of weapons that are sitting inside of a crate inside of a building, leave it the fuck alone. They're not yours. Don't touch it. Um, when you guys take Nikolai, the first time you hit him, when you shoot him, he's going to go down for a minute. And that 1 minute of time you have to get, that's the amount of time you run up to Nikolai and you lay hands on him and say, "We're taking your prisoner, Nikolai." When that happens, Nikolai, the timer stops, the 1 minute timer stops. And then you guys can proceed to start frisking Nikolai. I'm going to highlight this one right here. Of all the places I will hide weapons, it will never be in my crotch. Please do not put your hands there. I don't need you going down my pants to try to get what you think is a weapon, because it's not my weapon. Okay, it's not a weapon that I'm going to be whipping out and damn sure. So please, nothing's ever going to be hidden in the crotch area. Okay. Um, when you remove all my weapons, you're going to put them inside the storage area that's there. And then at that point, you're going to get a really good hold of me, because once you say, "Okay, we're moving you," Nikolai's going to fight back. Now, I'm not going to be throwing hands. I'm not going to be punching. I'm not going to be kicking. I'm going to be resisting heavily. When I resist, you cannot hold me by the head or neck, and you cannot use pain suppression techniques. Some of y'all assholes, yeah, yeah, we'll just go about that. I cannot be lifted up off my feet or carried. Okay. Um, my safe word is going to be pineapple juice. If I start yelling pineapple juice, you stop. Um, Stop doing anything. The uh, the word that is going to stop you from doing anything is going to be if I say admin, admin, admin. That's when it's going to be the out of characters in play, that I'm not in character anymore. I'm being the actual admin telling you certain rules of restriction. The op is going to be at Mid Orange Correctional in Warwick, New York. This is an overview of the map for you to take a look at. We're using all this. It's an old prison facility that's been converted over into a soccer company. So it's going to be fire. So when it comes down to the searching, as soon as you can say, "Okay, we're moving you," Nikolai can use everything within his grasp to break free. Hey, look, Wolfpack, this if you haven't been to one of our syndicates before, this is what we do. We put a lot of effort into this. There's essentially three factions, which I haven't gotten into. It's Cartel, DEA, and the Contractor faction, Nikolai's Contractors. All right. Now, when Nikolai's being moved, he's going to resist. He's going to fight. He's going to be hard to keep a hold of. All right. If you don't want to be touched in any way, shape, or form, don't go around Nikolai. If you see Nikolai's there, get somebody else to take care of him. Now, when I'm being escorted, your weapons are free game to me. If you have grenades hanging off your body, they're free game for me. So if you have a knife on your shoulder that you keep there and you don't take it off and you start escorting me and I reach up, grab it, and I knife you with it, you're dead by your own weapon. And yes, melee weapons are an insta kill. And that you must bleed out for to go. You could still be taken captured, and you could still have as many lives you had when you started, but you cannot be revived from a knife kill. All right. If I grab a hold of your gun and I start shooting people or yourself with your gun, it's there. Now, here's the kicker. Nikolai only has 3 lives from the time that you say, "We're moving Nikolai." When you move Nikolai and you shoot him to make him compliant, there goes 1. Each time he gets hit, you lose points. So don't do that, or you lose time with some of the special stuff that you get from bringing Nikolai all the way back. So far, only I think last year was the first year somebody actually got Nikolai back without, and I think that was if I remember, it was green or tan. I don't know. One of the two sides was tan. Tan got me back without any deaths. Green was trigger happy. That's all I got to say. um, so if you guys might have to tackle me to the ground. I might break free and run. This is all the stuff that you guys are gonna have to do. I highly recommend not putting a 120-pound person to hold one of my arms because I'll probably swing them around like they're a rag doll, like happened at Syndicate 3. That dude went for a ride. Um, so understand when it comes down to it, and Nikolai being shot by the enemy as he's being dragged doesn't count against those 3 lives. Nikolai will be hurt, but he won't count against it. Um, was it Scorch that it got back with like 100%? Or I think Green had, you didn't get 100%. I think you got like 75. I think you got credit for like 50% or something. Somebody definitely shot me. I got shot twice doing that. And I'm pretty sure I got free from somebody. Oh, let's see. Was it Syndicate? I got free from somebody. I think it was. Anyways, it's irrelevant. Um, the the thing is, you bring us to your CO. When you get me to your CO, stuff then happens for your CO. Oh yeah, I shoot people with their own guns. I mean, and people get mad about it. This is warned at every single safety brief. This will be addressed and gone over every single time. Okay. Um, all right. So, is there any questions about the prisoner rules at this point in time? Like, here's some tips. Nikolai's not to be trusted unless I say admin, admin, admin. Don't listen to me. To anything I say. More than one person should be holding Nikolai. That's a huge recommendation. Um, he carries multiple weapons on him. I mean, there was one game where I was carried 5 guns on there. No zip. Yeah, there's no hard restraints. No zip ties or cuffs. Okay. And right now, as it stands, my right shoulder is going to be a point of probably a lot of pineapple juices. All right, if you're camping overnight, people ask about where you're going to be camping at. Camping is going to be down here in the parking area. We're going to put a lot of the campers along this line here of the parking lot near here. It's a further walk around, but it's a little bit further back so people that are staying won't tie up the area. All right. If you guys are camping overnight, fire pits must be up off the ground. Um, no drugs. The no alcohol one has me in giggles for a different reason. You're going to police your trash, clean up your campsite before departure. So have a trash bag. If you need a trash bag, come see registration. We'll probably have some trash bags there for you guys to go through. Pick up your trash. Okay. If you're having a fire pit, that fire pit must be elevated up off the asphalt. If you catch you with a fire pit on the ground, you're done. You just can't have it because you're going to damage the asphalt. There's no fire pits in the grass areas. Okay. This is going to be the beginning of spring. There's a possibility the area might still be a little bit dry, which goes to the pyro thing. If the area is too dry and not green enough, we might have a restriction on pyro. Um, the quiet time is at 11:30 p.m. That's when music goes off, and you guys got to keep it down a little bit, mindful of your neighbors. Um, Camping's free. All right. Um, right now, all weapons must be placed inside of a gun case until inside the AO. We're trying to work with this. We got to see how the city of Warwick deals about it, because when you guys are there, there's a park that goes on the outside of here. What's up, banana? There's a park that goes all, like, people literally go on a trail that goes around this lake right here, and there's people actively in the lake. So do not shoot outside of the fences at any portion while you're here. Okay. Yeah, New York has an annual burn ban in effect from March 16th through March 14th. So if you have an elevated, we did get permission if you have an elevated fire pit that's enclosed, you have to have fire extinguishers and or 2 gallons of water inside, and you have to pour it out. Nothing that you can't make huge fires or bonfires or anything else like that. Uh, let's see. We don't allow drugs on the site. I mean, if you're there. Now, the funny thing was, it's not going to happen for this one, but the owner of the site actually says, "Hey, do you want a beer truck out there?" And I looked at her and go, "No, um, not for this event. Geigerlands might have a beer truck out there, but that's because it's going to be a smaller game and we can block things off." All right, gates are going to open at 12. Check-in's actually going to open at registration is going to open at 1. Chrono is going to open at 2. We're pushing all these times open earlier because the night game is going to start at brief is going to start at 4:30, and the night game is going to start at 5. This is the resurgence game. I'm going to go into a lot of detail and answer a lot of questions about this game mode and ask why is it so expensive. Here's why. But Saturday, 7 a.m. gates are going to open again for check-in and chrono. 9:15, 9:20. The safety briefs are going to begin again. The last safety brief is going to begin. We're going to deploy out at 9:50 from staging. Game one is start X, 10 a.m. start X. For 1 to 2:15 is going to be a break for lunch. Um, at That's a typo. At 3:15, we're going to have an update on the game. 3:30, we're sending you back out to your fobs for StartX. 6 o'clock is dinner. Now, right now, the 7:30 to 10 p.m. duration night game. I don't know why that's in there. I've got to talk to Christian. But as it stands right now, um, we might actually be able to have a night game. I have to talk to the person. Hop on COD posters. I'm working here, Mike. You weren't on last night, Dick. You can shut your pie hole. Um, all right, Sunday, 9 a.m. safety brief and immediate deployment to stadium. 9:30 Evo 1 StartX. Noon is Endex. 12:30 is raffle. So let's talk about Friday at 5, shall we? All right, we have 48 tickets available for what we're going to call the Resurgence game. If you guys have played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, we are putting a Modern Warfare mode out there. Now, this mode is going to be interesting. All 48 players are going to be given a, a pistol. That is your pistol to keep. It's going to be a brand new pistol. We don't know what pistol it's going to be yet. We're talking with multiple manufacturers. We should have an answer probably in the next week or two. That's your pistol to keep, that you keep on you at all times. Now, just like if you haven't played Modern Warfare before, as you get dropped in, you're going for loot boxes. When you open up the loot boxes, they're going to have all sorts of stuff inside of them. Some loot boxes are going to have better gear and weapons in them than other loot boxes. Like you might open up a black one that just has that has a crappy, um, you know, uh, a crappy SEMA gun inside of it, a rifle, but it's better than your pistol. So you can grab that rifle, you can grab the mags, put them on your person, and then go. Right. Um, there's now some of the other ones might have a sniper rifle, like an SSG-10, an average SSG-10. There might be another one that has an SMG in there. There's going to be some updated guns that are going to be throughout. The circles are going to close about every 15 to 20 minutes. The game is going to run about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay. Um, it's going to be, we're calling it a Warzone Resurgence because you have the opportunity to revive until you get to a certain point of the circles closing. I believe it's the fifth circle closes. Then you cannot revive anymore because the last two circles are where all the really fighting goes in. All right. There are going to be some LMGs out there in some of these boxes. A lot of sponsors are making their own boxes. They'll have lights on them. We're going to try to see about making sure there's sound on them, just as if you're playing a Warzone game. All right. There will be skirmish boxes around each one of the boxes that you're going to want to scan your wristband on. Okay. Now, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes, those circles are going to close. So the ring of refs are going to push everybody in. If you're out inside the gas zone for too long, you'll end up dying. Okay. When you die, it's just like in Warzone. You drop everything that you have that you've collected, with the exception of the pistol you started with. That's always yours. You always have that. Um, there'll be money for you to buy to do buys on, like maybe a gas mask, maybe there might be some gas masks and stuff out there that you guys can get. There'll be stims. There'll be uh, things like airstrikes, mortar strikes, just like in Call of Duty. We're getting all this stuff prepped for you guys. So um, this one is going to be interesting because when it gets down to the final teams, right? The final people that are inside, the team that wins, the 4-man team, will be able to pick. Each person will be able to pick a gun from the stuff that was looted, with a few exceptions. A couple of my guns are going to be out there to be upgraded to be used. They're not going to be on there because I'm sorry, guys, I'm not giving away $4,000 worth of guns. Um, yes, there will be a swap meet. Um, so for this particular portion of the event, there'll be a few guns that just won't be allowed to be done. I mean, and we'll point them out beforehand. You guys will know firsthand. You'll get pictures of them. You guys will get a packet of information of the rule set. Now, you have to be at the safety brief for this at 4:30. It's a complete breakdown and safety brief of what you guys are going to be willing to do. Each 4-man team will have an admin following them, not for to make sure they're not cheating or anything else. This is so you guys can call in some of the airstrikes and everything else. That's why laser designations are going to be important, because some of the airstrikes are going to laze buildings or laze people or whatever, and that's how that's going to go. All right. So this event, we're putting a lot into it. We have already got the commitment of 11 of the sponsors so far, tossing in a lot of cool stuff. Some of the stuff there was like, wow, you're really going to give that? That's awesome. Now, um, remember, all the points are also going to be scored through the skirmish system, so you guys can see who did what in what areas. Now, what I would love to be able to do is get the skirmish areas so we could see people in real time. That's not going to happen for this event, obviously. But yeah, we're definitely going to work around trying to do that as much as possible. All right. Um, so this aspect of the game mode is a real way for you guys to show off your four-man squads. And no, squads cannot team up with each other, because if we catch that happening, they're gonna die. So if, like, say for instance, Dark Horse 6 decides to send 3 full teams out there, those 3 full teams can't work together. Okay. Um, no radios, no comms. I mean, now that might be one of the things you guys could find are radios and comms out there, so you guys could get information. You might be able to find a radio that gives you active intel on who's where out on the field. But this is all the cool stuff that we're adding into this one particular game mode. And the reason why it's going to cost so much is because you're literally going home with a pistol, and the potential to actually go home with a rifle, SMG, LMG, or a sniper rifle. So whew, that's an hour and 14 minutes of talking so far. So do you all have any questions before I start wrapping this up? Because I want to pretty much end this in about 15. Sometimes I do, Augie, not all the times. Yes, some of them definitely will be. We're definitely going to be using some of the boxes for stuff that's going to happen during Syndicate. So, like some of the props that you guys are going to see, like the airstrikes, mortar strikes, that stuff's also going to be um, with the system, is going to be still in play. But yeah, we're going to be bringing in all the loot boxes because they're all going to be numbered. We're going to know all the guns and all that, so you guys can go through. Now, on top of that, if what it really turns out to the overall game is that there's going to be another raffle. The raffle is going to be fire. Those that are being taking part of the overall game, if you did not win, there will be a rifle for 2 or 3 of the guns for those that from second place and lower goes down. And honestly, you guys are going to get additional raffle tickets for how high you placed. Um, are we allowed to pendulum gas grenades around a corner? Tether via paracord, a little bit of swing in order to get it around a corner. Um, I think I know what you're talking about, Derek. You cannot swing it around and then throw it. You can have it tethered on there so you can throw it around the corner so you can pull it back. Absolutely. What we're highly recommending everybody do is to make their grenades look like their grenades. Also, if you have a company or a team and you guys want to sponsor one of the loot boxes, you guys can certainly do that as well. I don't, and Derek, I understand completely where you're coming from because I'd hate for somebody to lose their grenade. But that's way if it's easy identifiable. Like I don't even have mine anymore. But if I had mine, I would be painting it my Joker colors and put Joker down as so it's there. And people are saying hello to you. All right, we got about 12 more minutes before we're going to shut this down. So, is there any other questions? Welcome, welcome. And we have our first person that has purchased the Resurgence game. So, congratulations, Brian. There might be a patch for that. Don't know yet. I'm working on it. So people are asking about the price. That the price of that is going to be. I'm losing money on this game mode. I'll be losing probably about $2,000 to $3,000 at least on this game mode, just like I would with like a JTF mission. Chances are Kunis this AO probably high, to be honest with you. There we go. There's definitely birds on this AO that get trapped inside the buildings. We've seen that. Wanted for war crimes joined. Great name on their TikTok. um, so there's 47. That was Drust. Nice. Hey, look, I'm still immune to rabies for about another, probably right at the end of that. I'll be the end of it. End of mine. Chance for Ghost inside of S&M. Absolutely. Those, and guess what, Agi? You're going to be right down there. Sorry. So S is back a little cathedral area. That's going to be Dark Horse 6's little staging area. Oh man. No camping in the buildings, not for this event. After we do the Warzone game, and we get all the loot boxes back in, we will open up to where you guys can go through, look at the site, go through and start doing the exploration and everything else with everybody being off the site by 8 o'clock or so. So what's going to happen is like at up from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, people are going to be able to look at the field. You're not going to be allowed to scan out the field if you're in the Resurgence game. Because the boxes are going to be being placed and we don't want people pre-gaming. Camping in the buildings will probably be there in time for Geiger Lands. All right. Any other? I guess I can go over some of the sponsors because now is a good time to thank all of our sponsors. Um, Amped Airsoft is going to be out there. They're going to be doing the airfill stations. We're going to have Dead End Outfitters out there. Papa. I don't know if he's bringing a cart or anything. You can go to the field on Thursday. Okay. Like you're talking about Thursday before the event, right? Because I'll be there. Oh, can I go Thursday? Yeah, you can. Um, who else? We're gonna have Double Tapped Airsoft out there. New Breed Airsoft will be out there. We're gonna have On to Go Surplus will be there. So those are like the main vendors. We also might have Black Tiger Airsoft out there with Lori Watson Creations. They're looking at possibly coming up. Barrels again, most likely. Okay. Papa will actually put you inside with registration, mostly because you don't have to. You're bringing stuff. You're having to drive. You're flying up and stuff. So you'll be in there with Reg. And Mr. Reese is your DEA CO. So if you guys are on Tan Team, there's the man for you. All right, we got about 7 minutes left. And I will be doing another one of these in about 2 weeks when I have more stuff solidified. Is Papa going to be doing installs? Probably not. Is going to be my answer. I don't know if Papa's bringing up a Jacob with him that he could put to work, but Papa is a CO and Papa's going to be busy herding sheep. One thing I do need to talk with Papa and Beowulf about is if they want to be swapping CPs every time. Anyone that played for me at Yellow Dog or Thunderdome, you know what to expect. Yes, an absolute fun time. Yeah, but the thing is, when Papa goes to events, one of the last things that we want him to be doing is to be focusing on doing any sort of tech work. Because what happens every single time he starts doing tech work when he's on the road, he gets handed something that he feels like he must fix and he is unable to fix it. And it causes a migraine, anger, frustration, pissy mood. And then we have a bad Papa. Mad Papa. Not bad. Mad Papa. Also, Napoleon. Look who's talking. You're only like 3 inches taller than him, Augie. Like 3 inches taller than him. Also, for the Resurgence game, we're definitely going to be asking for people's assistance in um, closing the circle, as you will. You're coming to Thunderdome, right, Grackles? Remember, get your tickets here. All right. Also, since we're in the last 5 minutes, we'll go ahead and wrap this up and talk about this. Um, Crap, I just drew a blank. What the hell was I going to say? I just drew a complete and total blank. Joy. I was going to say something. I got distracted. All right. Um, Fuck. All right. Well, with that all being said, I'll go ahead and end the stream on this for now. Uh, Yeah, I mean, if you have, I mean, it's a drive, but that game is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Um, Crap, what was I going to say? I don't know. I'm getting senile my old age. All right. Oh, yeah. If we're going to need help closing the circles, but that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to hit us up, ask the questions. We're always going to answer, and we're always going to give you guys the information that you need because we want you guys to have fun. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Now that I remembered, on Monday, February 12th, I think that's the date. Yeah, February 12th. We're going to be doing a video and photo shoot for promotional materials for the Syndicate games plus other games. If you are interested in participating, being inside the trailer videos and everything else, reach out to us so we can arrange for you guys to come out there. This is going to be something that when we do it, it's for you guys get a chance to check out the AO in advance. So you guys get to walk around, check things out, get a sort of a lay of the land. We're going to need you for at least 3 to 4 hours to do video, pictures, and everything else. So while there won't be any real play, we are going to have some stuff where it's going to be like, okay, you guys try to take out you guys real quick, and they go through so we can get it all on video. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that, you're in the area, reach out to us. We'd love to have you out there. So, and also if you're interested in helping us with cleanup, which we always need help with, reach out to us for that as well. Um, with that being said, I'll wait for like the last minute and a half to see if there's anybody has any other questions, and then we can wrap this bad boy up. It's been a long day. I want to decompress a little bit. All right. So remember, this is going to be at Mid Orange Correctional, otherwise known as Hutchinson Sports Complex in Warwick, New York. I will be working on in 2 weeks getting some hotels together for you guys. I'm driving the bus up, so I'll have some time to spend around in Warwick. Reaching out to the council and everything else. So I know Augie can't wait to at least rub your little shaved head. We are staying in the city though because she wants to see it. And of course, just as I'm ending with 40 seconds to go, Justin says, walking in through the door right now. So, um, if anybody has any questions and it's like it's already been answered, if you know of anybody that has questions, tell them to go ahead, take a look at this video. It's going to be held up on it's going to be up on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere that we have where we post all these stuff. Send your guys going there so they can take a look at it and ask questions. Be sure to join us on the Discord channel. Again, it's a lot of questions there. We have a lot of great resources. And we're going to have a fun time at this event, guys. There will be a separate player pack that is released just for the Resurgence game. So until next time, Joker Players Wanted, may your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hits. Good night.